something happens.
Oh, it's recording.
You're recording?
Yeah, I'm recording as well.
Okay, I am recording. Do you want to start the podcast? Do you want to do the honors?
I will. Hello and welcome to the Up Close and Personal Trainer podcast with me, Shona Denovan, and
Me, Emma Storey-Gordon.
how
That was
are we?
beautiful.
That was really good, apart from then me interrupting you. Anyway, how are you? How's your week been?
Wait, sorry. God, this is such a bad start. You just paused a little bit, but I think you said, how are you?
I did, yes. How are you?
Well, I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Great. I had the most boring day of lockdown yesterday, and it's actually quite exciting that we got as boring as it was. And do you want me to tell you
elaborate.
a really boring story about what happened yesterday? So everyone listening, sit down. Are you seated comfortably? This is going to get wild. So I have a computer and it's running very slowly. So I downloaded Norton antivirus. That was exciting. And it came with this thing where someone can remotely log into your computer and then like go through all the files and delete anything that's making it slow. So this man was logged in and it took an hour and a half, and I thought I could like go away and do stuff.
Is it a man that actually does it? Isn't it just like the software goes through your computer?
No, there was a man on the phone to me and he was like clicking and I could see everything he was doing, and he was like, he would, every single time he did anything, he would be like, is it okay if I do this? And I was like, yes, it's okay. And I just wanted to say, it's okay if you do everything, just it's okay, can I go away and do stuff? But anyway, he was like doing this thing where like he was looking for duplicate files. And I think you do the same thing as me, Emma, and you probably do it way better than I do. But you do like a little photo shoot in your house when you need new content.
Oh yeah, of course.
Exactly right. So you get like, you get the camera up and you do a photo shoot, and it's like you and you're like top and you're like this, like changing poses, smiling, like that sort of thing, right? And he clicked through every single one of those pictures and he's like, would you like me to delete that one? Would you like me to delete that one? And there's like a slight difference between each picture, like as in like maybe smiling. And it was me in a sports bra, and I was really embarrassed. I was like, no, can we just like move on from this section?
I'll delete those myself, thank you.
So that was the most boring day of lockdown so far. And I'm sorry to anyone who's listening that I trained yesterday. You weren't boring. Everything else was boring.
Oh, that reminds me of when I had to learn how to do this like analysis of software, and this really old research assistant was teaching me, and she'd go through everything, but it was just like the slowest way. She's like, first of all, you turn on the computer. Then in the corner, like it was like an old Windows computer, it's like in the corner there's a start button, so you just click this, you go to programs, and then you want to select the program you want to open. And I was like, oh my god. And then she did something that was like completely unnecessary. Like she'd analyze one thing and she's like, and then what I like to do is just shut everything, make sure it's saved, and then I reopen everything again. I was like, oh, I was like, no wonder it's taken us like 3 years to get through this data. But yeah, that's very tedious.
It's very tedious, but it's one of those things that has to be done. Well, it didn't actually have to be done. This computer's like a year old, and he said normally people that do this are doing it with a really old computer. Your computer is like only running slow, because I downloaded this Adobe thing to try and like edit pictures, not Photoshop. Don't worry, I'm not about that life. But I downloaded this thing that was like taking over my entire computer, and it was running and all the time and just making it really slow. So yeah, I had to get someone to help me with it, because no one in this house is tech savvy at all.
Well, how interesting. At least the podcast can only get better from here.
Well, that's what we do. We set expectations by saying, right, it's going to be boring. And then we just like exceed expectations by being slightly less boring.
Yeah, set the bar low.
Yeah, but we actually do have a lot to discuss.
Oh God, so much content.
Last week's podcast was extremely sexual. So sexual, in fact, that someone messaged me because, like, I think I just had a sexual week then because of that podcast. Like, it just set me off. And then everything that I was posting on Instagram was like a little bit sexual. Like, I posted about how you have to be a pussy. And she was like, I'm seeing a theme here. And I think she's just a new follower, someone that's just like found me off of you, and she thinks that I'm just like some sex craved lunatic. But I just had a sexy week, that's all. We all have them every so often.
Yeah, the sexy week. Do you think that's related to your cycle?
Oh yeah, probably I was ovulating. Yeah.
I think you're like, not sure. Oh my God, yes, it was. I think it's definitely related.
Yeah,
it would make sense as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it was just on my mind constantly. Not like I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna stop talking.
Let's stop.
Let's move on. So you sent me something on last Wednesday evening, and it was a fact. Well, I don't know if it's a fact, but it's in quotation marks and it's got numbers in it. So let's just say it's a statistic.
Well, that's legit.
It says women have an 11% chance of orgasming in a hetero relationship and have a 93% chance of both women orgasming in a #lesbian relationship.
I love that they had
#lesbian.
Guys, this was not an Uber fact, so there might actually be some legitimacy to it.
Yeah, and it was accompanied by a video of a woman with a top that has like lots of uteruses all over it, like a uterus pattern.
Oh my God, what? I missed that.
Go back and have a look. She's got like...
Are you sure it was?
It's absolute uteruses. It is. Is that what you say, uteri?
Yeah, I know. What is the...
It was on Instagram.
Okay. Oh my God, that's a full, like, yeah. What? I did not notice that.
You should not notice that. And I'd written something saying, also, I need Kathy's top. It's a lady called Kathy who could be your mum, not your mum specifically, but just imagine your mum talking about how you've got more chance of having an orgasm in a #lesbian relationship.
Yeah, she does look like that. I think it looks like she's like doing some kind of Ann Summers party.
Oh, have you ever been to an Ann Summers party?
No, I've not, but that's what I imagine it's like.
You're 100% correct.
Oh God, so there's no need to go, really.
No, there's no need. I went to one when I was 18. That's way too young. I think that's too young. Like it was my friend's 18th birthday, and she had like one of those mums that was like, I'm a cool mom. And she like helped organize it. It was the most cringe thing ever, because then you're like everyone's passing around a dildo, and they do this thing where they like hold it against your nose to feel the vibration. So you're just like,
Why would you hold it against your nose? Like, surely your hand can feel the vibration.
Well, I think your nose is meant to be sensitive.
The closest thing to your clitoris as possible. Without... Wow.
The nose is the clit of the face.
What's that kiss called when you just touch noses? Eskimo or something.
Is that not eyelashes?
Oh God, that's weird as well.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've just talked about that, but I straight-splained. You tell me, is that true, that fact?
Well, we spoke about this before, didn't we? Like, I think it's probably quite biased.
Yeah, that was something I was...
lesbian.
Like, I definitely think there's a lot of truth in it.
Shona keeps touching her nose now.
I'm like,
it's distracting.
Like, there's a chance that like that's a bit of lesbian propaganda, but at the same time, like, isn't there more chance that women are going to be more like open to communicating about their needs and what they want to each other, rather than like doing that with a man? And also, a woman knows how to work another woman because she's a woman herself.
This is true.
Am I correct?
Yeah. I mean, but then it's like, well, in my experience, this statistic would be correct. But also I would prefer to be with a woman anyway. So then you think, actually, is that like that obviously plays a big role in it, no?
You would prefer to be a woman, did you say?
Be with a woman.
Oh, but okay.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you, actually.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well,
I had quite a long conversation with someone the other day about like if they fell in love with me but then found out I had a penis.
right.
And would they stay or not? And at first they were like, no, definitely not. And then I just like convinced them that they would.
Oh, that's nice. And was it a girl or a guy?
A guy.
A guy?
Because I think that would be a bigger deal for a guy, no?
Well, I think it's going back to what we were talking about last week, isn't it? I don't know. Is it? Oh, this is so much.
What were we talking about last week that was like this?
Remember about the homophobic guys being turned on?
Oh, yeah.
But then,
yeah, maybe. Or maybe they'd feel threatened if my penis was bigger than theirs.
I mean, there's so much, like, it's a favourite phrase of ours in this podcast, but there's so much to unpack in this. But like,
it's a lot.
Hopefully you'd want someone to fall in love with you and not your genitals, wouldn't you? You wouldn't want.
This is what I was saying. I was like, if you were in love with me,
mm-hmm.
and then I was like, look, the reason I've been holding out is because actually I have a willy.
Yeah. Here it is. Say hello.
Do you want to see it?
Yes.
Just for any listeners wondering, this is not true.
Emma, put it away, please. Emma. Anyway, yeah, there's this girl that I follow on Instagram, and she's got hairy armpits, and she says that she's got hairy armpits and she uses them as like a bullshit detector. So if a guy or a girl is turned off by her armpits or makes a comment or whatever, she's like, well, I'm not interested in you. So she uses it as a way of like vetting people.
Oh no,
you could do that with your willy as well, Emma, if you want to.
Yeah, it could be like, look, if you won't accept me with my willy, you can't have me at all.
It's like a really weird version of that Marilyn Monroe quote.
That's what I was gonna say. What's the original quote? Like, if you can't have me at my worst, then you can't have me at my best, or something.
Yeah, that's it. You sure as hell don't deserve me at my best.
Oh, I'm not a big fan of the hairy armpit one though.
No,
and also I think with these things you'd probably notice that quite early on, like if they ever lifted their hands above their head while they were with you. That's not a great thing. I feel like if you had a penis or hairy armpits, you would like make someone fall in love with you first.
Yeah,
and
you'd
then
just
be like,
really cute.
I've trapped you. Now you can't leave.
Look at my hairy pits and dick.
No, I think both would be a bit much.
Yeah. Both would be a bit much. One or the other, fine.
Yeah, I can deal with one.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the quote. You've got, if you're in a straight relationship as a woman, you've got an 11% chance of having an orgasm.
Yep.
And if you're in a lesbian relationship, you have a 93% chance.
Not just a 93% chance of you,
both
of you.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I would say this is something that I was discussing with a friend last week, is that if you're in a hetero relationship, like, you really need to always communicate with your partner as a woman what you enjoy, and never ever fake an orgasm, ever.
Oh yeah, because then they'll think, oh, what was I doing that time? And you'll be like, oh, not again.
No, you're doing not only yourself a disservice, you're doing him a disservice, because you're not educating and teaching him anything. So there you go.
But how do you go about talking about that? Like, do you do it like during, or do you sit down over dinner and you're like, right, this is actually what I enjoy?
I think like that would be quite a good, like, yeah, do it over dinner. Maybe wait until you finish eating. I don't know. Yeah, over dinner.
Depends what you're into.
Yeah, and I think you just need to be really kind and gentle in the way you say it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe like a compliment sandwich, like, oh, I really like it when you kiss my neck, but also hate it when you do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Okay, so
this.
if anyone
This is
feels,
still, we're still keeping with like the sexual theme.
I know. We
Yeah.
also have nipple orgasms to talk about.
Oh God. Right. Tell me about nipple orgasms.
I don't know how I got, okay, no, I do know how I got onto this. Because I was trying to research other podcasts that were like ours, but then I found that there were none. And then I was on a women's health site, and there was an article that said how to have a nipple orgasm that you'll never forget.
Right. And did you read it?
Well, it's actually very long. I sort of thought it would be quite short, but let me read some quotes. So, some sexologist, PhD, and clinical psychologist.
Sexologist. Now that is a title, isn't it?
That, yeah.
Mhm.
I wonder how you get to be that. Like, I've never seen like a university course called like sexology.
Sexology.
Interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she defines a nipple orgasm as a pleasurable release of sexual arousal centered on the nipple stimulation and not caused by stimulating the clitoris or penis directly.
She sounds like the woman who taught you your computer course.
Yeah, it might actually be the same woman.
See, the thing is with these sexologists is that they manage to talk about sex in the least sexy way.
Oh God, I know. I think they think it makes it like more like easier to talk to.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like by stimulating your nipples and the surrounding breast tissue, you can create sexual climax without genital orgasms.
Right. Can you please wait until we finish recording to try this?
I'm not even close to touching my boobs. Jeez.
Have you ever heard of a coregasm?
Yes.
And have you ever had one?
No, unfortunately. I feel like I'd have rippling abs all of the time if I did.
You did have rippling abs for years?
Well,
I thought that was your secret.
well, no, when I heard about it, I was like, huh. So basically, from what I know, which is very little, a coregasm is like when you're doing core work and you have an orgasm. Yep. Imagine that have you ever experienced that?
I have, and I've also had clients that have had it, and I had one client in particular.
Was this during yoga?
What's that?
Or just like, was it yoga or just like core work?
No, it was ring. I was on the rings, right? Hands on the rings, doing like a hollow body hold with my feet off the floor. So I think it was to do with like my legs were squeezed really hard together and my core was really contracted, and we had to hold it for 30 seconds, and at 25 seconds I fell off. It was really good. But I was like in a busy class and I fell off and like fell to my knees, like, because you can't stand up straight afterwards. And then like everyone was looking at me and I was like, but when it happened to me, I put it on my Instagram story. This is like a couple of years ago. And I was like, hey girls, has this happened to any of you? And loads and loads of girls replied, no boys. But I did have a client who, whenever she did any tricep exercises, so tricep pull downs or like press ups with her elbows in tight, she felt it. So I couldn't get her to do them in the gym.
This is so weird. So one of my friends has the same thing.
Yeah.
But we'd never, like, I remember putting it on my story and everyone was like, oh my God, that's so weird. No. Like, but triceps, there must be some tricep connection going on.
Yeah, I think you're like, when you're doing like a tricep pull down, like you're kind of contracted and pulling up through your pelvic floor. So I think it's just like the squeezing and the contraction, but it just kind of shows you how incredible our bodies are that they would do that to you.
Yeah, I know, that's crazy. Like, what's the evolutionary advantage of that?
Oh,
maybe like, oh, we need strong cores, so we'll will like make women feel really pleasured when they do core work.
Oh, that's it. Do you ask yourself that question a lot?
Yeah,
That's a really good
because there's
question.
usually like some in any human behavior or physiology, or even with animals, like there's usually some reason that people have become the way they are.
Mm-hmm. That's so interesting. Have you got any good examples, or like, have you got any examples of things that people do that you're like, there is actually no evolutionary reason behind that?
That there is none, like no evolutionary
Uh-huh.
reason.
Yeah.
I think there always is, but it's just that the pressures change.
Uh-huh.
So like we were always lean before because we had to go and like get food and maybe farm it, or even like run to catch like prey, I don't know, hunt,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But now, because there is like easily available food all the time,
Mm-hmm.
people are overweight because they don't need to do any exercise in order to get that food.
Hmm. That is so interesting. There's a book that I have read, and it's by a comedian. The book is called Animal. What's her name? She's a blonde comedian. This is going to be so annoying. I'm sure it's called Animal. Anyway, so I read it, and one of her theories is that women are not supposed to be monogamous, and the her theory is that when women have an orgasm, they're loud, and like in caveman times, that was them telling other men that they were like sexually active, and like as a call, being like, "Men, come to me." That was one of her
What,
theories.
that was her theory?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it could be. There could be legitimacy to it.
yeah,
Otherwise, why else would you be loud?
yeah. Because like men aren't loud, but women are. Well, that's me generally speaking. What's her name? I really need to think of that, because I would really recommend that book. Everyone listen at home, you should listen to it. And another one of her theories, which I don't know if I necessarily agree with. So this goes back to like the monogamy argument, is that women aren't supposed to raise a child with a man. They're supposed to raise their child with a woman or their mother. So
Why?
that's why grandmothers put pressure on you to have children, because like in caveman times, women raised children all together without men.
Hmm. Do you know what? There's a theory around, and I can't remember the whole theory, so sorry that this isn't great, but there's a theory around menopause which kind of relates to that, whereas at a certain age, women have to stop having children so that they can look after their children's
That's the
children.
theory. That's the theory. Yes, that's the same one. Sorry, I just like told it wrong. Yeah, that's why women have menopause at that.
Yeah.
Then they can focus on raising their children's children.
Mm, interesting.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Um.
What? And so men then just go off and impregnate other women?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think like I can't remember what she wrote about it, but like a lot of those theories are problematic because they're very heteronormative, like they're very heterocentric, so like man and women. So like what about gay people? Like what did they do in cavemen
Yeah,
time?
yeah, but well, they would be extinct, wouldn't they? Because you can't, like, without a man as two women, like, you cannot reproduce. Like,
Mm,
let's put aside like things that we can do now in science,
mm.
but
But do you
like
think
in terms of evolution, like gay people would be extinct, which is why there must be some benefit in your, like, so there are links between your genetics and being gay.
right, is
And
there?
there must be some benefit to that gene, because otherwise it would have been like passed, do you know, like it wouldn't be passed on if there was no benefit to it.
Yeah. But there's so much more to contributing to the development of society and evolution than just bringing children into the world. Like, so if you think about a community, there's lots of different roles within that community. And if everyone's just churning out babies, then it's just like, well, what are we doing to develop? So, like, maybe the gay people are bringing something else rather than just like they're educating, they're entertaining, they're doing lots of, like, I can't think of any other things. You know, that's basically
Well,
what
I guess they could be doing like a lot of things that you couldn't do if you were having children.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
But it is interesting. But then if you do think about it, like the whole, in an evolutionary sense, like your whole purpose is to reproduce.
That's a bit depressing, isn't it?
So like gay people's genes wouldn't be passed on. Wow. I feel like if I wasn't gay, that would be seen as like hate. Hopefully no one is offended.
It's okay. She's allowed to say it.
Like, hey, I'm gay. I can say these things.
The book is called Animal, The Autobiography of a Female Body by Sarah Pascoe.
Oh, I love her.
Yeah.
I might actually get that.
It's a really,
I thought, do you know what I thought you were going to say? Oh, I've read The Origin of Species by Charles Darwin, and actually this theory. And then you're like, I read this book by a comedian.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very disappointed.
Fuck you, Emma. So last week you said that you thought I went to Glasgow Cali, and this week you're like,
I know, geez, I'm awful.
Yeah, one of my friends listened to that podcast and she was like, that was so cheeky that she thought you went to Glasgow Cali. What a bitch, right. So we have a couple more things to discuss, and one of those things is that I have some deal breakers for you. Remember back at the start when we started this podcast, that's what it was, the foundations was built upon deal breakers. So are you ready?
I think we should bring deal breakers back. I mean, obviously we are right now.
Yeah, okay. You're right. We should bring it back as a regular feature every week. And what we'll do is we'll put a little bit more effort into prepping for this podcast rather than like 10 minutes before being like, fuck, Googling sex, fitness, relationships.
Yeah, okay, we'll do that. And then also we can put it out to people like every week on a poll to see if it's a deal breaker for people.
Great idea.
Boom.
Right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So you have been seeing this girl for a good while, 3 months, and I think you said once upon a time that's like 5 years in a lesbian relationship.
Yeah, so it's getting pretty serious.
Right, it's getting pretty serious. So it's her birthday coming up. You lavish her with gifts. You take her out, show her a good time. You buy
Obviously
her.
Not in lockdown, guys.
No, not in lockdown. Like this.
Let's imagine.
Imagine not in lockdown. You like buy her loads of, like, you buy her some new really fancy trainers, like you just spoiler whatever, and then it comes to your birthday. When's your birthday, Emma? Tell us what month it's in. October. Are you a Scorpio? Have we already talked about this?
I am. Are you?
Yes.
Oh
my god, you're such a Scorpio.
Why?
Okay, so I think like the things that make me a Scorpio are that I am fiercely loyal.
Mm-hmm.
I never forget if someone wrongs me. That shit stays with me to the grave. Do you think you're like that?
I forgive, but I don't forget.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
I just think there's no, like, I never hold grudges. Like, even when people have like done something really shady, I wouldn't hold a grudge. I'm just like, but I won't forget it. Like, I think it takes so much energy to dislike someone or to hate someone.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you're just, someone once said to me, and it totally resonates, like the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. Because if you hate someone, there's still like a lot of energy there and feeling there. Yeah. Whereas if you're just like, not bothered about it anymore, that's when you're over it.
Like, I think you're able to close your heart quite easily to something.
Yeah.
Other things about Scorpios are they're passionate lovers.
Oh, well, you know.
And they've got a sting at the end of their tail.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
What does the sting mean, though?
What does the sting mean?
Yeah, like what in real life terms, what would that mean?
Probably can be quite sarky. It's quite sassy. Sassy is a word that is quite often used to describe you.
Yeah, or actually, the boys always call me the Agatron on the podcast because when I get annoyed, they can just tell.
The
And I'm quite
Agatron.
like, yeah, because I get really aggy if I get annoyed.
Oh. Yeah, that's the Scorpio in you coming out.
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean.
Anyway, back to the deal breaker. So it comes to October and you've been seeing each other for probably about 6 months at this point.
Whoa.
And it comes to your birthday. Do you like getting presents?
No.
Okay. And it comes to your birthday and she has made everything for you from scratch. Like everything is homemade. So she's like painted a picture of you two, like it's your heads, but like the bodies of mermaids. She's also like she's also done some pottery and then painted it with like little cats. Can I just say everything? She's made everything herself. What do you think? Is it a deal breaker?
No, I love that. Why would that be a deal breaker?
I don't know if it was just shit.
Well, I mean, yeah, I always get this. So, like, my brother's an artist, so whenever it's like my parents' birthdays or anything, he just like draws them something or gives them some kind of thing that he's made. And it used to really annoy me because I was like, I can't do that because I'm not. And it always seems more personal and meaningful than me. I'm like, oh, here's like, I don't know, an Alexa.
You're right. Like, I think like the only way this would be a deal breaker if the stuff was really bad, like if it was just.
But I think that would be funnier. But although if you couldn't laugh,
if
she was like, "Oh, I drew this amazing picture," and it was just like 2 stick women.
Yeah, like that's what she did every year for your birthday and Christmas. Eventually, like, would you ever say, "Look, I would just quite like you to buy me something"? Would you ever say that?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I think it would probably become like a bit of a running joke, wouldn't it?
Just for you, a little joke, just for you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
just for me. No, that wouldn't be a deal breaker for me.
It wouldn't. Oh, that's nice.
But I'm not very materialistic.
That's good.
I like acts of service.
You do. Okay, moving on. Okay, so lockdown ends and you have been having an online virtual relationship and now it's finally time for her to come round to your house. And she brings like a little overnight bag. It's quite a big bag and she unzips it and she's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna, where's your bathroom?" And you say, "Oh, it's just the end of the hall." And she's like, "Okay, I'm just going to put my wee Scotty potty down. I bring it everywhere with me." So anyway, that's fine. She puts her Squatty potty in your toilet, and then when she leaves the next day.
Sorry, wait. What is a Squatty potty?
Right, so
like,
it's like it's a little stool that's like shaped like the edge of your toilet. So when you sit on your toilet, your feet are lifted. And it puts you in the perfect position for doing a number 2.
Oh yeah, I've seen them.
Right. Okay.
Also, did you when I was in Australia, there was like signs on the toilets, and there'd be like a picture of like a woman standing on the toilet in that squat position, like standing on the toilet, and it was like, "Do not do this, you'll break the toilet." They were like in all of the toilets, and I think. Because I asked my cousin who lives there, and he was like, "Oh yeah, a lot of Asian people like use the toilet that way." I was like, "What?" So they had to put it like everywhere. Apparently, all the toilet seats are getting broken.
Because it is the way forward, apparently. So that's fine. You don't mind that she's brought it around to your house.
No,
but
totally
then,
fine. Obviously,
over the course of time, you realise that she actually brings it everywhere with her. So you go out for dinner, she's got her Squatty potty with her. You go to visit your mum and dad, she's got her Squatty potty. You go to the cinema, she's got it. Like, she's literally takes it everywhere with you. Is it a deal breaker?
Well, I would have to ask like why she needs it. Because you know what, if she was like, "You know what, I've got some kind of bowel problem and I need it," I don't think you could say. I mean, when I whap out the penis that I've been hiding, then I don't know, if it was like for a legitimate reason,
Mm.
it wouldn't be great.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'd be okay with it.
Like if it was just because she really liked the feeling of it and she was like a proper convert.
And also, how many times are you pooing a day? You need to take it everywhere.
Yeah. Okay, that's nice. Right, ready for the next one?
I'm ready.
She has names for all her body parts and gets annoyed if you don't remember which body part she's referring to.
No.
She's like, oh, my mod is so sore right now. And you're
What's
like,
her mod?
her shoulder.
Oh, yeah, obviously. Well, if she was like, oh, my chakra of emotional intelligence is so high right now, then I could understand it. But if it's like, no. It's a no from me. That one's a no.
It's a no, like, so it's a deal breaker.
Yeah.
Right. So I think like it kind of would show if someone was maybe like if infantilizing themselves, if you know what I mean, like if they didn't have the confidence to actually refer to something as what it actually is and they need to call it a baby name, that would be quite alarming. Yeah. But if it was just
Really off-putting.
like she called her left tit Evelyn or something.
Yeah, maybe that. Maybe not Evelyn though.
No, does it need to be like a sort of
Just
sexy
gives
name?
me like visual of like old people.
Mm. Right, okay. Do you want one more?
Yeah.
Right, so you start seeing this girl and everything's great. You really, really, really like her, and you're getting on really well. But then she's like, Emma, there's this thing that that I signed up for, and it's about to start filming next week. Now like we're gonna have to keep our relationship a secret, but like I mean it can keep going in the background, but basically like I was kind of desperate last year and I signed up for the latest Dundee reality TV show called She Wants the D. Is it a deal breaker?
Oh my god. That is a brilliant idea for a reality
She
TV
wants
show.
the D. It's basically like it's like a dating reality show for young Dundee singles.
Oh wow,
It's
this
just
is going
like
to be a hit.
yeah. But the only thing is like she obviously now is not single and she's in a relationship with you. But she has to like then like I don't know if you have ever looked anyone up online from these like fake reality shows that they have to like pretend that life is like it is. So like she had to
Yeah,
pretend
like
that
what
she
I
had
don't understand is, you know, these shows like let's say like Made in Chelsea
mm-hmm.
comes out like obviously after it's been filmed, so they'll film the whole thing, then it starts coming out. But then are they meant to pretend on social media, like let's say someone has a breakup, that they haven't had a breakup until it comes out on the TV?
Yeah, that's so
Is that
bizarre.
what happened?
Yeah, that's but it's not real. So I mean, it's just so bizarre.
Yeah.
So would you be happy to be in a relationship with someone who was on this reality TV show and they had to pretend?
No.
It would be a deal breaker.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think as well, like, did we speak about, we spoke about this last week about like people like hiding their other half, basically. Their
Yeah, we
other
did.
half, their partner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wouldn't be about that.
Do you think you could be in a relationship with someone who was in the public eye?
Yeah. Do you?
No.
Why?
Because I don't think I'd be attracted to that personality type. Like basically
So
someone
do you
like
think everyone in the public eye has a similar personality?
well, I think someone who is like very like me, like extroverted, a lot of energy.
Oh, so you would want someone who's
Sure.
like the opposite of you?
Yeah. I don't think I could. Also, like I've got one of my best friends is an actress, and her partner is an actor as well, and it's quite competitive. And I don't
Yeah, I could
like
see
that.
that.
Mm-mm.
It's probably even more so if it was two girls.
Oh yeah, definitely. So
But then I'm not in the public eye, so it wouldn't matter.
yeah, you are. Don't be
Oh
humble.
well, you know.
Yeah, you
No,
are.
but
21,000 followers on Instagram. Away you go. Wait, is it 21,000? I need to quickly check. Oh my god, I took
so yeah,
5,000 away from you. It's 26. She's
I know,
fine.
I'm very
She's fine.
disappointed. But yeah, I think so. I think I could.
Okay. And that draws to a close the deal breaker segment.
Oh, but I will say definitely not if they were like, imagine you were dating someone who was on a reality TV show and they just came across as like the worst person on it.
But actually they were really
I
nice.
imagine, like, I think a lot of it, obviously it's got to be dramatized or it's not interesting for people to watch. So I think a lot of it's like, oh, you're a bit of a dick, we'll make you into looking like a massive dick. And then yeah, no, that would be great.
But then one of my favourite people of all time, Gemma Collins, is
my god, queen. Yeah,
she actually is a queen.
she seems though that is like genuinely just what she's like.
You're
I think
right.
that's why she's so good. Like,
You're right. There was a part, like,
I love, you know, the ones where she's like replied to a tweet just being like, get over it, hun, or something. Like, why is Gemma Collins even on TV? And she's just like, bore off, hun.
I know, I love her. She's like, you need to take a day off, Han.
Yeah. Wait, I need to get her thing up.
Yeah, she's like, my favourite part, she had this like Diva in Lockdown reality TV show, and she like walks about her house. They've put cameras around her house just to watch her, and she says, I hope you're filming because this is gonna be a good segment. That's basically me walking about life.
Yeah, someone's written like, why is Gemma Collins allowed on TV? But the worst part is they've spelled allowed like as in
Girls
like,
allowed.
I'm talking loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, yeah, as in girls allowed. And she's like, same reason you're allowed on Twitter, hun.
Oh,
It's spelled allowed correctly.
yeah.
I was like, touche.
Yeah, she's pretty awesome. I love her. She brings me so much joy. And I also ordered some Gemma Collins merch. Hopefully it'll arrive. I'll try and wear it for the next podcast.
Oh, I need to get mine.
Yeah, you do. You totally do. She's got like a whole range. I've got
send me the link and I will purchase.
Yeah, it says there's one that says like, you know, the one that's like, I'm single taken, like you have to click it. It says I'm single taken, claustrophobic, Darren.
Oh my god, I love her. Do you remember Nikki Graham as well?
Oh, wonder what she's doing with herself now.
I don't know. I'm gonna see.
There's a really good Instagram that everyone should follow, and it's called Love of Huns. I think you actually already follow it, Emma.
Oh yes,
and it's
a favorite of mine.
That sort of like thousands pop culture, noughties pop culture. So like Nikki Graham, early Jordan.
With the fucking aircon, it's a blizzard. I'm gonna catch a cold. My fucking gun! Take it anymore.
Oh, she's amazing.
Yeah, she was made for reality TV.
But then part of me, because I think she does have some slight mental health problems.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then it's like, are we laughing at that? Are we laughing with her? Because she, like, I don't know.
Slightly problematic, eh?
There's a line. I think she's sitting on the line, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I think you have a question.
I do. It's a long one. It's a listener question, so thanks to whoever sent it in. And I've also not read it, so what you're going to see here, hear is my first reaction to it. You're constantly reapplying lip balm. How dry?
Yeah, I can't sit still.
Well, I noticed that as soon as we both came onto the Zoom call, we both like unscrewed our little lids and applied
Carmex, even though we never put the video up.
No.
Wouldn't want anyone to see my dry lips.
Right, here we go. So, okay. So here is your anonymous lil story. Ha 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 ha. Also, please feel free to cut the bollocks off this if you won't need to. All right, okay. So before lockdown, I had been seeing this guy. We met on a dating app and he was nice. A history teacher, into sport, wholesome. We went on a few dates and to be very honest, I don't think either of us saw it going anywhere long term, but we were enjoying the casual elements of the situation, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh.
Anyway, and to again note, this is all pre-lockdown. One evening we were texting and he was asking me to hang out. I wasn't really bothered at the time and I said I was busy. He then started paying me compliments on my appearance, which was nice of him, but then he randomly came out with, honestly, from your Instagram, you wouldn't be able to tell you had such good boobs. To which I replied, sorry. To which he said, yeah, when we first met, I was very surprised. To which I said, question mark, question mark. So I don't think she said anything. Maybe she just like gave a quizzical look.
Question mark.
Oh no,
No, I think she's over messed.
Yeah, sorry. I was like, how do you say question mark, question mark? Anyway.
Imagine people spoke like that. Question mark, question mark. Or
exclamation mark!
Full stop.
Yeah. To which he then said, I'm trying to find good source material. Do girls not know lads do that? Girls need to realise lads do that. Honestly, in most of them, you are incredibly clothed. Like you wouldn't be able to tell from your pictures. I won't lie to you, ladies. This is now like not talking. This is her talking to us.
Big commentary coming in.
I won't lie to you, ladies. I was a bit shocked by what he was saying and not flattered in the slightest. By the way, my Instagram is fairly standard and mostly used to promote work, holidays, and the odd selfie, haha. There is, in fact, one picture of me dressed as a nun, but come on, pal. Clearly not a sexy nun. She's wearing a habit, you can't see her tits. Anyway, I brushed it off and told him that he was far too used to seeing tits and ass on every other influencer's page and that it was distorting his perspective, which he acknowledged and agreed with. And you know, maybe it's that whole feminist equality, she'd put it in like finger quotes, thing in me, note sarcasm. Wait, so she'd... Ooh. Anyway, I won't add in anything just now. I'll just keep reading. But it sort of boggled my mind. I don't like feeling that I'm naive, which is what another girl, younger me, might have felt in that conversation. But I was just like, no! He was so sure that it was completely cool not only to creep all over someone's Instagram page like it was Pornhub, but also to let them know and tell them that their content wasn't totally up to scratch. Now, I actually find it bloody hilarious on one side, and in this situation it wasn't sinister, but it was a bit of an eye-opener. It was both fascinating and strange to see how of the norm that is for him and probably other guys, and that they have no filter about it. Don't worry, we're almost there, 2 more paragraphs. And that also freaks me out a bit too when I think of younger people and the pressure they must feel these days to have of having to get your tits and ass out on the gram or Snapchat or whatever. Side note, if that is something that genuinely makes you happy, go live your best life, honey. But let's be real, all of the young girls we see doing it are probably not doing it without low self-esteem or because Kylie Jenner does it too. I have a feeling that being in the fitness industry and of course the frequent marriage proposals Emma gets on her Instagram question box, all right, you've both experienced something similar and quite possibly even worse. Would love your thoughts and opinions on the subject. Oh, that's a good one. Right, I really enjoyed reading that. I loved the sort of bit that I had to act out, and I kind of wish I'd done voices now, but oh well.
Oh, well,
anyway,
next time.
What's your initial reaction to that, Emma?
It does seem like, yeah, I'm just a bit taken aback that someone would think, oh, do you know what? I should really tell her that she's not got her tits out enough.
Yeah, let me go back to what you said. Like, I mean, I'm totally with her. I would have been like, sorry, what? Like, I think I need a little bit more context. Is this person a personal trainer? Is she work in the fitness industry?
No.
No, she doesn't.
She's
Right, so,
actually, in fact, I won't say because it might give it away who it is.
okay. Well then she has, even if you are a fitness influencer, you don't have to show off your body like at all. Like that is not a prerequisite. Like I think that guy is just an absolute creep, and I really hope she stopped texting him. What an absolute horror.
Yeah, I will say, like, she doesn't work in an industry that you would need to show your body. Not that there is one, but you know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't be the norm. Like, it's just quite a normal Instagram account.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think that's quite strange. And then to just be like, oh, you've got really big tits, why didn't you show them more?
Well,
Right,
it was a total backhanded compliment, and he said, from your Instagram, you wouldn't be able to tell you had such good boobs. It's like, it's a compliment, but also like saying that you look not very nice in your pictures, or that you look, your pictures are unflattering.
Yeah.
It's like, and then like they're trying to find good source material. What the?
What does that mean?
Does he mean like he's like wank material? Like something to wank over.
Wank bang.
Like,
oh, I don't know.
Mate, my Instagram is not here for you just to wank over.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I also just think like in his head, was he thinking, oh, this will be a good conversation to have?
I think,
like, why?
Yeah, he just totally just got it so wrong. Let's have a look. I'm continuing.
So I did ask if she saw him again. She was like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
So that's good news. It's a happy ending.
It is a happy ending because she like got him away. But do you know what worries me? Like she said he was a history teacher. It worries me that these people are teaching young children, but then also have these opinions of women.
Yeah, that is
really worrying. Really, really worrying. And it was something else I wanted to unpack or unpick. She said, what freaks me out a bit when I think of younger people and the pressure they must feel these days to get your tits and ass out on the gram or Snapchat or whatever. What do you think about that?
Oh, yeah. I think it's so bad. Like, even if you look back to when we were younger, I mean, maybe Snapchat was just, but no, I think we kind of missed all that. Mm-hmm. Like at a young age, from like 15 or something, like none of that would even be a thing. But now, I don't know. And you see like 18-year-olds, they look like 25, or even like 16-year-olds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there is quite a big pressure. Or even,
do you feel, and I think you and Amelia talked about this recently, about PTs being in shape and fitness people being in shape. What was the outcome of that discussion?
Oh God, I can't remember what the outcome was, but I think my view is like, it, in a way, it is quite important. Mm-hmm. Like you are to some extent your own business card. Mm-hmm. And I don't think you need to have rippling abs all year, but I think it's more to the point, you should not be out of shape. Because if you're, and especially if what your message is preaching is like balance and that you can stay in shape and that you don't need to diet like every time you go on holiday because you'll just be in shape. And if you're not able to do that yourself, it probably says quite a lot.
Yeah. I don't know if I necessarily agree with in shape. I think because like I don't know, what does that mean? What does in shape mean?
Well, I guess I mean not out of shape.
What is out of shape?
Yeah, I know, but these things are like, there isn't like a definition, obviously.
Yeah, but I remember meeting a PT from another gym, and she would be what you would describe as out of shape, but she'd actually already gone through a massive weight loss transformation. Like she'd already lost lots and lots of weight. But she was one of the busiest PTs in the gym that she worked in, because she was absolutely relatable to her clients. like she wasn't intimidating at all. And like she was working through her own journey at the same time with her clients, so they were all working towards like making like eating well.
That's a process, right?
Yeah,
So that would be quite like a transient period that she was what you might term out of shape. I'm using air quotations because no one will be able to hear them. But if she still followed the principles that she was telling her clients to follow, then eventually she wouldn't be as out of shape, right?
But she was still like as you would probably like, you wouldn't look at her and necessarily think that person is an athlete. I'm trying to be as
as PC as possible.
I just can't. I'm not
carrying slightly more adipose tissue than we would expect from personal trainer.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. But like going back to that, when I first became a PT, like I didn't do it for such a long time. Like I held off because I had that sort of like imposter syndrome that people would look at me and think she doesn't look like someone who would be a personal trainer. So yeah, I do definitely feel that pressure. And I scroll back through my Instagram like through the years, and there's definitely times that I've posted more pictures of my body and of me doing exercise than other times, and it just so happens that the other times was when I wasn't so happy with the shape I was in.
Yeah, no, I think there's a huge element, and I think people have to remember that like personal trainers are going through their own journey as well as helping their clients. But I even related it with Amelia to like, she obviously preaches like meditation and gratitude and all these things, and would her clients stick to that in the same way if she wasn't doing any of that? Like if I was like to everyone, like it's really important that we meditate in the morning and that we all practice gratitude, but I'm not going to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And why is that so different than it's really important that you get this much activity in, eat in accordance to your energy demands, and make sure you work out 3 times a week? Oh, but I'm not going to do any of that. It's quite hard to follow.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would say that is equally, if not more important than what you look like as a PT. The fact that you are actually living that lifestyle. And
no, I think that is more important. But if you do that, you will look a certain way.
Yeah. And I would say there's a lot more than just like your body to your like how your health and fitness is displayed, like because you can be lean and totally ripped but actually not very like good at stuff. And also you can be lean and like your skin looks dull, you don't look very healthy, if you know what I mean. So I think there's lots more to it than just like your body fat levels.
Yeah, and I also think the more you know about fitness, the more you realize that like being really lean isn't healthy, even though it's still seen as like the epitome of like, oh, someone who has abs, they must be the fittest person ever. Not necessarily true. And then at some point that's obviously a detrimental thing. And then you're looking at people who are mega lean being like, oh, it's a lifestyle and you can just have balance and like blah blah blah, and it's like, no, you can't. You cannot be that lean and have like a really balanced life.
Nope, definitely not. But going back to the question or the story that she sent in, I think more than just like pressure as a fitness person, but I just think pressure as a woman to look nice and be pretty. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a girl that I follow and she's got like a range of t-shirts, and one of her slogans is "Women do not owe you pretty." And I feel that really resonates with me, because something that like always happens to me as a PT is like I hardly wear makeup, and every day someone will be like, when I do makeup, we do wear makeup, people are like, oh wow, look at your Marilyn. And then if I don't wear it the next day, they're like, oh, you look really tired. And I feel like
it's like, I know, I've just got no makeup on.
No,
Jesus.
I'm not tired, I'm just a bit ugly, sorry. So yeah, I just feel
my actual face.
Yeah, so like that guy is just like sort of showing us that there is that pressure on us to be like, to show like our goods, be like, hi, this is my tits, look how good they are, here they are on Instagram for you. Like that's bullshit, isn't it?
It's funny though, because you'll also get guys saying, oh no, it's so unattractive when people put like raunchy pictures on Instagram, like that should be between like you and your partner.
But then
I think that there is a line, isn't there? Like really sexy pictures in your underwear. Like, do you really want everyone to see that?
Well, if it's a really good picture.
Well, yeah, to be fair.
If you scroll back in my Instagram, there's some saucy ones. But now I'm old and I haven't seen my saucy photography.
Remember there was a phase where people used to like have like a thong and a bra on in the gym, like taking pictures in the gym, as in like in photo shoots, like on the leg press, and just I'm like, nobody would go to the gym like that.
I really hope you're wiping that machine down afterwards.
Yeah, it's a fitness shoot because we're in the gym. No, it's soft porn.
It's soft porn, but Emma, how else are they going to admire those glute muscles?
Well, to be fair, how are they going to attract males? Maybe this is the new, like, you know how peacocks have like amazing feathers and stuff, and that's like to attract a partner.
Yeah.
Maybe Instagram is the new way to attract a partner.
Well, yeah.
And when you put up, okay, I learned a new saying this week. I think I'm going to get it right. But do you know what a thirst trap is?
Is it when you like post like a thirsty picture for likes and comments?
Well, it might be that, but I think it's more of like, oh, look at me, haha, I'm single, or like trying to get that like in somehow, like, haha, so wish I had a partner at the moment.
Oh,
and
right,
like, and it's like, oh, okay. So then they're trying to get people like in their DMs being like, oh my God, you look great, can't believe you're still single.
Have you experienced
By the way, here's my number. Have I experienced it?
Yeah.
What, have I done it myself?
Yeah. I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have.
I mean, probably.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, probably. But yeah, wait, why did I come onto that?
I can't remember. I can't remember. Oh yeah, you were talking
Maybe
about
I just wanted to remind everyone that I'm still single.
Peacock feathers.
Oh yeah, peacock.
Peacock feathers. Do you know what expression I learned that made me laugh so much? And it's a bit mean. It's a bit mean. But I have this friend who is a member of the CrossFit gym that I coach. I'm still coaching CrossFit on Zoom. And he's got an amazing body. He's like super ripped and buff and muscly. But he has gained a little bit of weight in lockdown. But I think he looks awesome for it. And then he stood on the scales and it turns out he's gained 10 kilos.
Wow, that's quite a lot.
Yeah, but I don't think that I think the last time he weighed himself was last year sometime. Like, and he's built a lot of muscle since then. And we were talking about it in the middle of the CrossFit Zoom class, and what that's called when someone gains weight, it's called the elephant in the Zoom.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
That's quite good, yeah. And he laughed, so I wasn't just bullying him and calling him an elephant. And if he listens, because he does listen sometimes, I think he looks gorgeous.
He's really trapped in the weight. Oh, wow! He's had 2 mentions on the podcast.
Yeah, he's famous, and he would love it. Yeah, my little elephant. Well, that was wonderful, Emma. That was wonderful. Shall we draw to a close now, darling?
Yeah. Oh, and also you need to go back and listen to the last podcast because I mentioned you twice in it.
What one?
The last one on ESG.
What?
What one? Where?
In a good way?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
As an example, a shining example to other clients.
Oh, thank you. Oh, was it about my transformation picture?
It was.
Well, thank you so much. I think we'll just, in case someone hasn't listened, I sent Emma a transformation picture. I've been coaching with you for, do you know how long?
No, do you?
I think it could be almost a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, close.
And I compared the pictures of me at the start and me now, and there's not really any difference in body weight, like maybe a kilo, but there is such a huge difference in how my body looks. And it's just to show that like your body composition can change so much, and that you shouldn't obsess over scale weight. But also, one thing I think that probably you mentioned as well is that way more important to me than what I weigh is my performance in the gym, is my athletic performance, and that is something that is massively improved as well. Thanks to Emma.
It's well, thank you. It's a really hard balance between dieting and performance. Like, this is why I think I found dieting really quite easy, because when I first started dieting, I was also trying to row at quite a high level, and that's like a really hard balance, because you've got to fuel your workouts but also not like eat in a slight deficit so that you're losing body fat. And that's really, really hard to do. And things in that situation, things like meal timings do come into play, because like maybe you want to eat more around your workout. Where was I going with? Oh yeah, but then when I started just dieting and I'd finished rowing, so easy, because it doesn't really matter how you, I mean, obviously you still care to some extent about performance, but really if fat loss is your goal, what you want to do in the gym is stimulate that muscle to at least maintain. And then, I mean, it doesn't hugely matter if I lift 5 kilograms less that week, or my split on the rowing machine is slower that week, because I'm not racing anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So I found it a hell of a lot easier without that pressure of performance. So hats off to you, because that's really hard. And the other thing I was talking about on the podcast was the delayed reward aspect of building muscle. Like, we didn't see improvements week on week. And to some extent, you have to like trust the process a bit, because you're not going to get that immediate feedback. And there will be weeks when your performance is worse than the week before for various reasons out with diet, like hormonal reasons, or you're tired, or like anything under the sun could affect that. So it's quite hard. Like, and the reason I was talking about this is one of my clients wanted to build some muscle, and they're like, I'm not really seeing like any results, like the scales haven't changed and I can't see any changes from last week, right? Which is obviously, you will not see changes like that. And this is like the biggest element of delayed reward, which is how you're going to get the biggest results, is that you have to almost trust that what you're doing and your behaviors are right. So if we knew that Shona had ticked off all the behaviors that she wanted to do that week, that's a win that week. Doesn't matter what the scales say or what the lighting in your bedroom says, basically. Or if the window was open and you look a bit leaner. Like, there's so many factors that come into it, but it's a very hard thing to practice.
Absolutely. Yeah. And especially as women, it takes us so long to build muscle. And if you're trained, then it's even longer. Is it something like what is it, like a 0.1 of a pound or something a month?
You'd be lucky as like a trained woman to build like 2 pounds of muscle a year. So you can't even measure that month on month. Like,
no,
it's
Well, that was entertaining and educational.
That's what we do.
That's what we do.
We went from nipple orgasms to building muscle.
Yeah.
All in one podcast.
Well, I'm proud.
Very smooth transitions.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for listening, everyone. Have a wonderful week. If you've got anything that you'd like us to discuss, then please feel free to write in. Love you.
I love you. Bye.
Bye.
Right, I've stopped.